Good morning, Dr. Jackie and my classmates. My name is Jasja. My metric number is 194955. Today, my presentation is about the factors affecting the intention of entrepreneurship in Malaysia. I divide into three parts. The first part is introduction. The second part is literature review. The third part is methodology. And for the introduction, entrepreneurship intention defined as a position to owning a business or becoming self-employed. Entrepreneurial intention are also considered as personal orientations, which might lead to virtual creations. Entrepreneurial intention reflects the individual's intentions to choose an alternative career path, start a new business instead of looking for work in an existing company one. Entrepreneurship intention is important to the development for many countries. And for the research background, entrepreneurship has attracted more and more attention because of its significant impact on the economy. And even in the early day of the industry, individual entrepreneur can start a new business. And many researchers have been trying to use thousands of literatures to determine the reason for entrepreneurial intention. Most of them pay attention to the relevant factors of entrepreneurs and connect their personal characteristics or human capitals with the intention of entrepreneurs. In addition, in fact, scholars from different cultural backgrounds and has studied many entrepreneurial motivation factors involving a wide range of fields. And factors have provided that in different countries and regions, there are some difference in the factors affecting the intention of entrepreneurs. Now, more and more people want to start a business, and their intention to start a business is also increasing year by year. As you can see, this figure from 2002 to 2019, China's entrepreneurial intention grows at an average annual rate of 3.17%. And for the problem statement, due to its great influence on economy, people have carried out extensive research on entrepreneurship in recent decades. When authors have studied the nature and the premise of entrepreneurial intention, but few have studied the factors that affect entrepreneurial intention. For development countries, entrepreneurship is particularly important because there are more restrictions for developing countries to enrich tourism products and experience in terms of resources. In Malaysia, studies examining entrepreneurship intention among undergraduate students is sparse. For the research question, is a relationship between the individual variables and the dependent variables. And for the research objective, is determine the relationship between independent variables and dependent variables. For the significance of study, the theoretical significance is this study extends the theory of planning behavior proposed by Eisen in 1991. In the study, Eisen described the personal attitude as a positive or negative evaluation of a particular behavior. If an individual view of the goal of entrepreneurship is positive, then the attitude towards the behavior should also be positive. Therefore, the individual's intention to achieve the goal should be stronger. And the student entrepreneurship is defined as any new attempt initiated by one or more students. Students' participation in entrepreneurial activities depends on their career plan and attitude towards self-employment, which depends on various factors. And from the practical significance, it helps Malaysia, its students, especially business students, to get better entrepreneurial advice, and it helps Malaysia university students realize whether they are suitable for entrepreneurship. And the lecturers at universities in Malaysia can make more entrepreneurial suggestions or research based on the background of different students. And this is a conceptual framework. There are 5 independent variables, which is personal attitudes, subjective norms, cognitive flexibility, entrepreneurial education, and family entrepreneurial background. And 1 dependent variables, which is entrepreneurial intention. And for the literature review, the definition of social The definition of social entrepreneurship intention is defined as the conscious state of mind that procedures, actions, and directs attention towards entrepreneurial behaviors, such as starting a new business and become an entrepreneur. The definition of entrepreneurial education is entrepreneurial education aims to provide students with knowledge, skills, motivation to encourage them to succeed in various environments. And it has been emphasized that through social entrepreneurship education, universities can have the opportunities not only to act as change agents, but also to develop human capital that can be used to change the world and respond to social challenges. And for the definition of culture in entrepreneurship intentions, the culture as the kind of collective thinking which distinguishes the member of group or group of people from other group. And in addition, they believe that to a certain extent, cultural values lead to the acceptance of uncertainty and risk-taking. So cultural values are expected to support the creativity and the innovation behind entrepreneurial behavior. And for the self-concept is the concept that an individual possesses at the physical, social, spiritual, and moral existences. And self-concept consists of three parts. The first is concept. The second is attitude. The third is perception. And the research gives entrepreneurship has been widely studied in recent decades because of its great influence on economy. Previous studies have shown that there is a positive relationship between entrepreneurship enthusiasm and entrepreneurship willingness, and many authors have studied the nature of entrepreneur intention and the relationship between entrepreneur intention and behavior. However, the literature on the impact of entrepreneur intention is still rare, especially in Southeast Asia. This study extends the existing literature and focus on Malaysia to study what factors affect entrepreneur intention in Malaysia. Because agent describe personal attitude as a positive or negative evaluation of a particular behavior. If an individual view of the goal of entrepreneurship is positive, then the attitude towards and behavior should also be positive. So the hypothesis one is personal attitude will have a positive effect on entrepreneur intentions. The social norms as family support, experience, and understanding of those who are starting their own business. So stronger subjective norms about entrepreneurship means stronger entrepreneur willingness. So the hypothesis two is subjective norms will have a positive effect on entrepreneur intentions. Cognitive flexibility theory shows that people's basic beliefs and knowledges play an important role in shaping their behavior and determine their cognitive resources for problem solving. So the hypothesis three is cognitive flexibility will have the positive effect on entrepreneur intentions. Because unless entrepreneurs have a good technical and business skills, they may not be able to overcome the various problems encountered in different stage of business development. So the hypothesis 4 is exposure of people to a wide and deep in entrepreneurial education will have a positive effect on entrepreneur intention. Because the entrepreneur family background may influence career choice through a formation of attitude, subject norms, and perceived behavior control, so as engaged in entrepreneurship. So the hypothesis 5 is family entrepreneur background will have a positive effect on entrepreneurship intentions. And the methodology, the target response then is undergraduate business students at a major public university from Malaysia, and the sample size is 20 samples, which is 2 public universities and 2 private universities in Malaysia. and instrument measure scores is questionnaire. The questionnaire items were evaluated on a 7-point Likert score. The questionnaire comprised scores from personal attitude, subjective norms, cognitive flexibility, entrepreneurial education, and family independent background. And for the measurement, for entrepreneurial intention, the simple items like I tend to take steps to start business. For personal attitude, like for me, being an entrepreneur means more advantages than a disadvantages. For subject norms is the extensions of considers in the efforts of those who are considered important. For cognitive flexibility is if I take steps to start business, I will be able to control the progress of the process to a large extent. For the education, for the entrepreneurial education is in my university, you learn to examine old problems in new ways. For family and different background is my immediate family would approve of my decision to start a business. And for the data analysis, I use the SPS 26, and it have 3 parts: the reliability test, description, status, and the multiple regressions. And for data collection, the research design is convenient, sampling, technical, and quantitative. And the data collection method is respondent is total of 200 students in universities of Malaysia, and time is estimated in 17th October 2020, and the ratio between public and private universities is 1:1. And the sampling strategy, I choose the non-probabilistic sampling because it does not start with a complete sampling framework, and it allowed responders to be selected based on the convenience of access rather than using randomization. And it's cheaper and more convenient, and are useful for explore the research and hypothesis generation. That's all for my presentation. Thank you for listening.